Mr. Iyer, is it, there's good news and there's bad news. Good news, you might win in Kerala, but if the same thing holds, Tamil Nadu could be a disaster.
Chopin said that there's a considerable difference, but actually it's not 70%. I see it's 70.84%.
Correct.
So I would have called it 71%.
Yeah, but it's
and 75%. 4% is not such a big
Mani,
change.
it's a big difference. In an election, 4% is a big difference in turnout.
Well, I would say that the main feature in Tamil Nadu is the same as it is in Kerala, that at every state assembly election, there has, if you look over the last 20 years, been a change of incumbency. But while that is a historical fact, the mathematical fact is that the size and the stretch of the DMK rainbow is, I think, much wider than that of the ADMK, and the governance question is a very important one. So I'm not sure that this 4% increase in the voting is actually going to translate into 4% more anti-incumbency. But in Kerala, I would like to say that whereas its singular achievement in the period 1996-2001 was extraordinary advances in Panchayati Raj, which really gave them huge support at the grassroots level, Mr. Achyutanandan is not a great enthusiast for Panchayati Raj. So while he hasn't been able to do too much damage to the first state in India in Panchayati Raj, he's not done it any good either. And that, I think, is going to go seriously against him.
But Dr. Tharoor, what it also then indicates is the inability of a ruling party to deliver good governance which satisfies the local population, like Sheila Dikshit has been able to do in Delhi, and win back the trust of the people to come back to power. The Congress might be coming this time, they could be booed out 5 years later. That's been the trend for the last 30 odd years in Kerala.
Well, that's exactly the pattern we're determined to break. I think we fully recognize that the time has come not just to come to power for one term, but to use that term for such effective cooperative action that we will in fact be able to repeat this victory 5 years from now. One of the important things we're seeing is there's a tremendous boost in support from the center. We're having more and more, the UPA government as a systematic policy is translating the fruits of national growth into lavishly funded benefit programs which are being transferred to the states. And if you look at the Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Act, if you look at the Indira Awas Yojana building houses for poor people, if you look at the Jawaharlal Nehru National Urban Renewal Mission, if you look at one program after another, in the case of Kerala, there's a Wayanad package, a Kuttanad package, an Idukki package for agricultural relief. There's a whole lot of central assistance coming, which this government has proved singularly inept at being able to implement. I think the difference you're going to see with the UDF government, and why I believe we are here for longer than 5 years, is that we will work hand in glove between the center and the state capitals to implement the much, much greater levels of national assistance that are coming to the states, and in particular to Kerala.
But Dr. Tharoor, the one story from Kerala which captured people's attention nationally was the old versus young debate. And your leader Rahul Gandhi came out and said Achyutanandan is 87 years old, he'll be 93 by the time of the next elections. Did he forget at that time that your alliance partner in Tamil Nadu, just across the border, is 87 years as well? That argument just seems very, very dodgy, Dr. Tharoor.
Well, look, I think it was not the substance or centerpiece of Rahul's campaign pronouncements. It was an aside, and I think we stand by it. The Chief Minister certainly has reached retirement age. As Rahul pointed out, if he actually were re-elected, he'd be close to 93 at the end of the next term, and that simply does not actually make any credible sense today. But let me stress that the much larger, stronger message that came across from Rahul's visit and from the visits and the speeches of Congress leaders from Delhi as well as across the state has been the message of governance. That you've seen no performance, you've seen a government that has nothing to point to. We will give you results. We are implementing concrete actions. We're doing it in Delhi. We're willing to do it here. Give us a chance to make it work for you.
But Mr. Baby,
that sort of message, inclusive growth, that's the message.